Hello! This HighByte Intelligence Hub video covers installing Intelligence Hub, installing on a Windows operating system. And we'll start here at the HighByte website, and I'll need to log into the account portal. I can do that by creating an account, including a password. I've already done that, and I just use my email address and a password to log into the account portal. Once I've done that, I can download licensing if that's relevant. A 2-hour trial does not require a license. It's just resets after 2 hours. A 30-day POC requires a license. Of course, if you purchase the software, it requires a license, and that can be downloaded here. Today, we'll just focus on product downloads, and I'll download the runtime, but also notice there's other components of the software that you can download if needed. When you download, you read the license agreement and then download. I've already downloaded the software, and it's local just to save some time. This is the zip file that was downloaded, and what I've done is I've unzipped it. You'll see there's configuration, runtime, and app data. Typically, it's not helpful to use this long path with the, that's helpful, of course, for organizing things, but not when you are actually, creating the runtime, because you'll update that, of course, and the version will change. You'll also want to take a look at the installation instructions in the user guide, and that includes installing Java, and you can navigate to download OpenJDK, and I've already opened that web page. As long as you're downloading a version higher than the required version, that's fine. So you can see here I can download version 24, and I've done that as well just to save some time. This is what I downloaded, and then I unzipped it into a folder called Java. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this folder to the programs directory, program files. And what I might want to do first is just verify whether or not Java has already been installed and note the version. So I can do that with the command line, and Java is currently not installed. So that means I do need to install it, and I've moved the files into their proper location. But the key thing that I need to do is edit the environment variables. And I'll need to edit the path variable. And I'll find that directory that it is created. Down to bin. And I'll probably want to move that all the way up to the top. And now I can check to verify that it was installed. We can see it's version 24. So that's the primary prerequisite for Intelligence Hub. So we have that in place. And now if I go back to my downloads, we'll move the Intelligence Hub files to C. That will take a bit to move those over. Intelligence Hub is a Java application. You access it in a web browser. And what I want to do when I'm working on Windows, I can run it, but I'd want to install the service, and that's what we're going to do next. So if I go to service, we can run the batch file to install the service. And let's check to see if the service was installed. HighByte Intelligence Hub, and it's running. So we should be ready to go. Sometimes when we install, you can have to check the the file system and the security just to make sure that these different files that are necessary, to run the service are accessible. We access Intelligence Hub through a web browser, and of course a specific port and we can do that with the standard port 45 45245. And the default username is administrator and the default password is blank, so I can log in immediately. Of course, then you could immediately change that password in the users area. I could enter a password if I wanted to. The other thing I could do, if I had a license, I could activate that license choosing the file. I previously downloaded the file, and I can import that license, and then I'm licensed based on my renewal date. Just a few things to note. Um, I can from the configuration file enable the MQTT broker and REST data server. I typically do that from the user interface. You might also want to look at you know, the directories that are important and what has been created. So we have our runtime directory, the app data directory, which is important, and the configuration JSON file is what we write to when we create content within the Intelligence Hub. This settings JSON file is, another important file. And you can see it is possible to specify directories for app data, store and forward, and config, but I just let those as null. And what happens if you leave those null is the directories are used just as we expect, and as the directory structure is created when you download those files and directories from our website. So I'm all set. That's a quick overview of installing Intelligence Hub. Prerequisite is the Java runtime, and other than that, it's straightforward. Thank you very much.